It's Jake and I'm here with another episode of the Westham United career mode in FIFA 18, and it's the 5th episode. The last episode we finished off the transfer window and we have got a lot of game to get through to get into the next transfer window. So if you haven't checked out the last episode, go back and check it out. We didn't do much business in the transfer window. We are really happy with the squad, and we get into the first game against the Spurs. It's a really tough game, you know. Spurs have a really strong lineup, and when I did take a look at their lineup, they got a couple of new signings as well. So it's even tougher Spurs team. And regarding our team, we were completely unchanged. It's a really entire first team, completely fit and ready to go in a vital match against Spurs. And Spurs have gone and got Thiago Silva, very good central defensive player, and they got Gelson Martins, a very good winger as well. So it's a really strong looking Spurs lineup. And it was Spurs who initially break down the deadlock in this game. And when you give that kind of space and that kind of time to for Harry Kane to turn inside your penalty box, you know you're going to be in trouble. And Harry Kane scores a fantastic goal. And after that goal went in, I had to really pull my socks up and really have to work for the goal. I was creating a couple of chances here and there, and Spurs, they are a very good defensively organized team, and every time I play against Spurs, it's really tough to break down the defense. Spurs were really strong in the first half. They should have scored at least a couple of goals, you know. It was really graceful that they only scored one goal. And early in the second half, we do score a goal from an unlikely goal scorer, Zabaleta. I don't know what he was doing inside the box. The cross from Andre Ayew was perfect, and Zabaleta was completely unmarked and he scored. And important to note that early in the game he got a minor knock, and I think he's shaken off the knock and he's really good to go. So very good effort from the veteran there to get us back into the game. And after that goal went in the second half, Spurs completely kind of like had a meltdown or something, and it did allow me to get more and more into the game. But unfortunately, I just could not get the vital goal, the breakthrough, and get the final pass through and get into scoring opportunity. So that was a 1-1 draw. A fair point given the performance we put in, and we deserved no more than a point and no more less than a point. So I got another player in the youth academy, and they kind of look like brothers, those two. And at the moment, I cannot sign them because they are at 15 years old. They need to be at least 16 if we need to sign them. And moving into this next game against Swansea City, and for the first time, we are playing 2 home games consecutively. For this game, I made a couple of changes. We got Fonte and Masuaku, we got Obiang and Andy Carroll. And Andy Carroll gets his start since he has been performing comparatively greater than Hernandez or Chicharito. Speaking of Andy Carroll performing, he scores a header in the second minute of the game. And speaking of Hernandez, yes, his performance has been in the last 2 games has been kind of under the radar. So I just wanted to have a bit of a different impact in my attacking style, since we don't have Arnautovic, and Andy Carroll is getting into the team and is getting a lot of minutes, and he's proving really good as well. He's getting me goals, he's getting me assists. So I really like Andy Carroll at the moment, and Andy Carroll sets up Lanzini perfectly, and Lanzini scores. And this game was completely weird, and you'll be seeing why. For some reason, Swansea City were really off the pace in this game, and they were completely letting. They did not mark. The defense was out of nowhere. They were all over the place in defense. The midfield was not a lot pressing, and in attacking sense, they did not have a great outlet that too. So I was getting a lot of chances, and it just took me a couple of passes, and Carroll did give a hat-trick of assists to Lanzini, who scores a hat-trick of goals, and it's just 20-minute hat-trick for the Argentinian, who has been completely, I got to say, it's just, he has been so clinical, and Swansea City are really awful in this game, and I don't know what is it, and it just takes a couple of quick passes to open up their defense, and I don't know what I was doing wrong, and I just think it was just a glitch in this game. And after I scored this 5th goal with Andy Carroll, 5 goals in 30 minutes, I haven't scored like that all year this game. So I wanted to check. I was not handicapped or doing something like that, so I wanted to check. And for your information as well, I was playing at legendary difficulty, so it was completely maxed out you can do. So for some reason, Swansea City did not decided to turn up for the game, but they did, however, get this goal. Wilfred Bony scores inside the first half to make it 5-1. And after that, this game kind of I was taking things slow. I brought in a couple of players. I was resting Lanzini, I rested Noble and kind of stuff. So I was taking this a bit slowly, trying to not force this game because this game is already won and I don't want my players to be a bit of tired. So we do score another goal with Edmilson Fernandez to make this scoreline 6-1, and that's how the game did end. And Lanzini gets the match ball. 3 shots, 3 goals. He was clinical errors in the first half. He could have scored a couple of goals more if he left off in the second half as well. So that's a really complete performance from the team. I've never seen a team this awful as Swansea City in the career mode. So Andy Carroll was once again, he did contribute every goal. He got 2 goals and 4 assists in that game as well. So it really is a purple patch for Andy Carroll. And moving into this final game against Burnley, this is an away fixture this time. And I did not know whether there was a glitch, so I just restarted FIFA to get it back to normal. And this is a lineup we are facing against, we are fielding against Burnley. It's a slightly different lineup. I've got with Declan Rice as a defensive midfielder, and we got changes on either side of Lanzini, Perez and Haksabanovic, and Carroll keeps his place in the starting lineup. And this game did come back to normal. Burnley were much harder to break down compared to Swansea City, and by the way, that should have been a penalty for Lanzini because he was tipped down inside the box. For some reason, the game did not recognize that. And Burnley were much organized in defense. Their midfield were really good, and I was creating a lot of chances. I was a completely better team in this fixture. The final pass was only missing though, and I had to be really patient with the build-up play. And once again, who scores the goal? Andy Carroll does the goal. And I think it's his 5th goal in this season so far. So he has been having a great form recently. And once again, I said earlier, I have to be really patient to open up the Burnley defense. They're really much organized than Swansea City, and much like Spurs, the defense is really solid. And we did break the deadlock to Andy Carroll. And after that goal went in, Burnley did commit a lot of plays in attack, trying to rescue this game, and there was a lot of opportunities. Andy Carroll missing a goal with his left foot, and I just remembered he scored 5 headers, not a single with his foot, which is an interesting fact. And trying to get an insurance goal, we get a penalty. And Masuaku, once again, I've been saying this a lot in this career mode. When I bring him on in the second half, he's so good to use. And this time, Lawton brings him down inside the box, and that is a clear penalty, I think so. And this time, I tried to take it with Lanzini and not try to take it with Mark Noble or stuff. And there's something with penalty this year, and I missed a penalty once again. And even the informed player Lanzini couldn't convert this opportunity, so it was really disappointing. And speaking of this game, I should have had a couple of goals. This opportunity to Perez, he should have converted that. And he really doesn't fit the midfield role. He's really better at defensive position. He's really better at the right back position. So that's the end of this game. Only 1-0 victory to us, and in the end, 3 points is all that matters. And it's going to be the end of this episode, guys. I will see you in the next episode soon.